Good morning.
Hi, I'm not going to do the video, but I'm going to join. I'm Debbie.
Okay,
I'm
good.
Debbie's mother, Debbie
Yes,
Hoffman.
good morning, Lee. She told me that that's who you were. I saw the name that I didn't recognize, and I'm so thrilled that you're here in class with us, and it's super gratifying to know that you are enjoying it. So thank you for your continued commitment.
Thank you. Well, I really did enjoy it. I actually went with Debbie once, I think this winter at the studio.
Yeah, so
Uh,
we've met. So you live in New York, is that right? Am I
I
remembering
do,
correctly?
but I'm going to be in Florida for the time being.
Okay, well, great to have you here.
Thank
As
you.
you probably know, today is actually going to be my last Wednesday just for 3 weeks because the studio where I normally teach, where you met me, um, we're going to resume classes next week, but then their summer camp starts on the 22nd of June. So I'm not going to be able to teach at 9:30 Wednesdays anymore. So I'm going to have a 3-week hiatus on Wednesdays online so that I can go back in person. Then I'll probably be back. But I'm thinking of adding another day of the week. So if there is a particular day that might work for you, I know Debbie said I'm doing Saturdays, and Debbie said that doesn't necessarily work for her because she's doing something else on Saturdays. So you don't
Right.
have to tell me
Saturdays won't,
now.
yeah,
Okay.
Saturdays will not work for me either.
Okay. Well, then, give it some thought because I don't foresee that any day of the week is going to be that much different than the other
Right, I feel the
moving
same way. We're all doing the same thing. We've all got a
forward.
very busy calendar right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yes. So, okay. So then if I'm doing Wednesdays, it will likely be Monday or Friday just to create some consistency and give a day of rest in between. So, again, welcome, Gwen. Lori, I know you're already here. So, if anybody does have a preference of whether it's Monday or whether it's Friday, let me know. Since I'm already doing Saturday,
Yeah,
maybe Monday would make more sense. I don't know. I gotta give it a little bit of
right, yeah.
It doesn't
If
matter.
Saturday is tied up, then maybe Monday might be better,
thought. Okay.
or
Sounds
Tuesday.
good. So just stay tuned. Lee, do I already have you on my email list? Are you getting my
I don't,
weekly updates?
I don't think so because I've been getting it from Debbie.
Okay. Let me just, I don't,
Give me your email address. I will email you right now, and then
sure.
you'll have mine.
Okay. It is Jen, Jen, at lightyourinnerglow.com.
Like,
Light,
like
like
K-E,
light it with a spark.
oh, light.
Light. Lightyourinnerglow.com. And that way you'll just get one email a week from me letting you know where you can find me, what's going on with me. I'm probably going to start adding other classes as well, tapping into the other resources and knowledge that I have about nutrition and herbal healing and psychoneuroimmunology, which is a really big word that basically just means what you think affects your health. So stay tuned for all of that.
Okay, good.
All right, so it's about that time. Any requests for today?
No, no.
Nope, we're all good. Lori, Gwen, anything in particular you want to work on today?
Uh, my famous neck issue.
Okay, we'll definitely
So this
incorporate
Saturday always.
some neck stretches, no problem. All right, Debbie, good morning, welcome. All right, so if anyone does not have anything else to offer, Debbie, if you want to unmute and if you have any special requests, go ahead and speak now. Otherwise, I'm going to ask everyone please to go ahead and mute yourself on your end. If you have a beverage that you want to bring nearby or any music that you want to put on, go ahead and do so and create the environment that makes you feel most comfortable. And then we can go ahead and come onto our mats. And today we can begin on our back. So you can go ahead and recline. I'm just going to set up my big clock so I can see it because my vision is not what it used to be. So let's go ahead and come on down to a reclined position on your back. excuse me, if you feel comfortable putting something underneath the knees or the thighs, like blocks or cushions or one big pillow, you can feel free to do that. Otherwise, we'll extend the legs out on the ground, relaxing those muscles and allowing the toes to naturally roll outward. We can slide the arms down a little closer toward the feet so that the fingertips are closer to the lower body and there's more space above the shoulders. And if you would like, the arms can slide away from the body, palms up, more open, receptive position. If you feel like you still need a little bit of grounding, you can fold those hands in onto your body, maybe resting on the hip bones or on the belly, or one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Whatever feels right for you here and now. And you can start to check in with your breath. Eyes can be closed or open here. I like to close the eyes. I find it helps me turn inward a little bit more to remove that thread of sensory input. And as you are breathing, thinking about how we fill a glass of water. When we pour the water into the glass, it fills the lower third first, then the middle, and then the top. So as we're breathing, thinking about the lungs the same way. As the breath comes in the body, guiding it down to the lower third of the lungs. So really expanding the belly. Then the middle of the lungs, so maybe feeling the solar plexus and the heart expanding. And then as you finish the breath in, maybe visualizing the breath going right up into the center of the head and the brain, and a little bit of expansion there. Obviously, that's just a visualization. And then exhaling, releasing it all back out again. And seeing if you can slow your breath down a little bit. So whatever's happened before now is going to stay there in the past. Whatever level of energy that brought to you is going to stay there. And we'll just take it down a notch in the here and the now. Deep, slow, conscious breaths. You can inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, either through the nose or through the mouth. Checking in with the muscles of your face, noticing if there's any tension around the eyes or the eyebrows, and allowing that to relax and release. Noticing any tension around the mouth and the jaw, and allowing that to relax and release. And offering now a moment of intentional gratitude to all the individuals throughout history, throughout time, who have cultivated this yoga practice and all of these tools for thousands of years through all kinds of adversity and hardship, so that we can benefit from and enjoy these tools today. Breathing that in and letting it go. And when you feel ready, you might start to extend the arms up above the head and point the toes, stretching the legs down below, lengthening the whole body as you deepen your breath even more. And then inviting arms to your sides. We can bring the knees up into the chest and give yourself a hug inward, rocking yourself gently from side to side. Breathing in and breathing out. Just noticing the sensations that you're feeling in the low back, the hips, throughout the spine. And then extending all four limbs straight up into the air. So the low back is in firm contact with the ground. We can start to circle wrists and ankles one way, and then the other way. Good. And then letting the limbs be still. You can start to invite your right foot down to the mat with a bent knee. And as we inhale our next breath, we can start to lower the limbs, arms above and leg below. So they're coming to a horizontal position, hovering over the ground, and slowly exhaling and bringing those limbs back up again. So very slow, controlled movements, inhaling, opening up, keeping pressure through the low back, and exhaling, slowly lifting. Good. Again, inhale, extending and reaching long, just like we did in that full body stretch. Exhaling, slowly lifting up. So just warming up our abdominals and our core, nice and slow. Inhale, opening. Exhaling and contracting. Good. So now we're going to change it up a little. We're going to inhale, open up, and stay here as you exhale, really pressing low back down. We'll stay here for another breath in, and as we exhale, slowly lifting. We'll do that 2 more times. So inhaling, opening up, hovering over the ground, low back pushing down, staying right here as we exhale. Another deep breath in right here, and then slowly lifting up. Good. One more time, opening up, expanding, inhale. Staying right here as we exhale, maybe lengthening those limbs a little longer. One more breath in. Exhaling, lifting. Good. Now we'll inhale, lift, head, neck, shoulders, arms reaching forward. We'll pulse for 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Staying here for one more breath. And exhaling, dropping down. Left knee to chest, followed by the right, squeezing in. Rocking gently side to side. Coming back to your deep, slow breathing. And when we're pulsing those 8 counts, you have a choice. So you can keep the breath deep and even, or you can switch over to an ujjayi breath, which is a more rapid breath, exhaling with every lift. So it sounds kind of like this. And you'll exhale on the lift. And it's helpful to think about when you're lifting up, you're making less space in the lungs, right? We're kind of compressing. So to me, it makes sense that we would exhale as we're doing that compression. So now it's the left foot that's going to come flat, the other 3 limbs up in the air. And we'll take a deep breath in as we start to lower the limbs toward the ground. Deep breath out as we lift. So again, thinking about the space in the lungs. Inhale, we're making more space in the lungs, opening up. So we're breathing in. Exhale, as we're contracting, we're breathing out, like we're squeezing the breath out of the body. Low back firmly pushing down. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, slowly lifting. I'm trying to use the whole breath for the whole movement. So as we inhale, the arms reach a horizontal position when we're full of breath. And as we exhale, the limbs reach that vertical position at the end of the breath. Good. So now we'll open up with a deep breath in, pushing low back down, and we'll stay here as we exhale. We'll stay right here for a deep breath in, relaxing the facial expression, and then exhaling and lifting. So firm pressure in the low back. Inhale, opening up. We're engaging lower abdominals this way. Staying here as we exhale, maybe lengthening fingers and toes. Staying here, one more deep breath in, and slowly lifting, exhaling. Good, last one. Inhale, we'll open up. We'll stay right here as we exhale. Good. Reaching limbs long. Stay here for another breath in. Exhaling, lifting. And now as we inhale, lifting head, neck, and shoulders, arms reach forward, pulsing for 8. Holding here, breathing in and releasing as we exhale. Knees to the chest, rocking gently side to side, resuming our deep, slow 2-part breaths. In and out. Good. So we're going to do one more for the abdominals while we're here on our backs. From this knees to chest position, we can push the knees back a little bit so the knees are directly over the hips, thighs are vertical, and then lifting up the feet so the shins are horizontal and pushing the low back into the floor. So maybe this is enough for you with arms at your sides. Maybe you'd like to take hands right above the knees and gently push the lower part of the thighs. Maybe you'd like to lift head, neck, and shoulders as the hands press. And as the hands are pushing the knees back, the knees are pushing right back against the hands. So if head, neck, and shoulders are lifted, let's go ahead and press the shoulders down toward the hips. We'll breathe for 3. Pushing that low back down, breathing for 2. Option to squeeze knees together and flex the feet. Breathing for 1. Good. Dropping back down, hugging knees to the chest. Just a little rock gently side to side. And then we'll balance out the strengthening with a little bit of stretching. So how about a happy baby pose? We can open up the knees, letting the hands slide down to the insides of the ankles or shins. And before we lift the feet up, we can use the forearms to gently press the knees outward. So we're allowing gravity to pull the knees outward, and then we're assisting with the arms and the elbows. You can bring your awareness right to that crease where the legs meet the hips. Breathing deeply in and out, you can visualize those muscles releasing a little more tension as you exhale. So the exhaled breath is really where we release muscular tension. So not only is the breath already doing that work, but you can bring your mental focus there and imagine that you're seeing that fibrous tissue become just a little bit looser. If you would like to add on and lift the feet up toward the ceiling, feel free. I like to hold the ankles here, but some people like to hold the insides or the outsides of the feet. So you're welcome to try either variation. And if you like rocking side to side, feel free to do that as well. So as we continue to breathe, the hands are pressing or pulling the knees down toward the ground on either side of you. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. And then feet together, hands to the knees together, and then moving knees in opposite directions. So I think about like egg beaters or a hand mixer. You can move those knees away and back together, away and back together, first in one direction, and then reversing to the opposite direction. Breathing in and breathing out. Now we'll come to a seated position next. So some choices. If you feel a little more energetic here and it's comfortable for your spine, hands under the knees, we'll rock forward and back, lifting the hips up as we rock back to get enough momentum to come up and sit. If that doesn't really suit you today, feel free to roll over to one side and use the hands to push yourself up to sit. And once we are in the seated position, whatever feels comfortable for you, we can extend the legs in front and just bring a little bouncy movement into the knees. You are welcome to keep the legs extended if that's comfortable. I like my legs crossed, so you can choose the seated position that works best for you. And from that grounded place in the hips, you can even imagine that the base of the spine, the tailbone, is sending a little root down into the earth. From that rooted place, will allow the spine to grow upward. I like to imagine a string on the top of the head pulling up like a marionette, shoulders pressing down. Deep breath in and out here. And then we can begin some circular movement with the torso. And rather than a straight, stiff spine, you can allow yourself to really lean into it and be fluid with the spine. So I like to imagine, and I can't take credit for this, I heard this in another yoga class, but I find it very helpful. Imagine that you are seated in an upright, large jar of peanut butter, and you are using your rib cage to scrape the peanut butter off of the walls of the jar. And you can make your movements large or small, fast or slow, whatever suits you best. And you may feel a little snap, crackle, and pop in your spine. If it's uncomfortable, just adjust. Maybe if you're fast, go slower. Maybe if you're big, go smaller. And when you come to the front of your next circle, we can switch directions, starting to circle around the other way. Again, the spine is not straight and stiff like a wooden spoon stirring a pot. It's very fluid. We are leaning into it and using the rib cage to explore all of the space around us. Deep breath in and out. Face and jaw stay relaxed, very gentle expression on the face. We'll give it a couple more circles here. Again, feel free to explore size and speed. So maybe you want to go really big with your circles, or maybe you want to do like small, fast ones. It's up to you. We'll take one more circle around, and then we make it back to center. We can lean forward, looking up as we inhale. And then lean back, holding the knees and rounding the back, exhaling. I'm going to turn sideways to demonstrate this one. So it's a seated cat and cow. Leaning forward, looking up, you can see how we open up the front body, shoulders back. Exhaling, leaning back, rounding the back and tucking chin to chest. So we're broadening the upper back here. Again, inhaling, leaning forward, looking up, maybe squeezing shoulder blades together behind you. And exhaling, leaning back, tucking chin to the chest, broadening through the scapula, the shoulder blades. One more time, inhale, arching the spine, leaning forward, looking up, and exhaling, leaning back, rounding through the back. Good. So we'll come back upright. We had a request at the beginning of the class to give a little bit of attention to the neck. So we'll inhale, bring right arm up, and take the hand right above the left ear, gently pulling the head over to the right. Meanwhile, your left hand can reach out to the left, fingertips to the ground, and tiptoe away, and then maybe back a little bit. Let the jaw relax here, breathing in and out. So you may even want to open the mouth and just let the lower jaw be very slack. And if there is a little movement you want to explore, I like to tip my chin down to the chest and then tip back and look up with that very gentle pressure with the right hand. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. So we're going to give ourselves just one more deep breath in and out. Maybe those fingertips tiptoe a little further out or back. And when you're ready, releasing through the arm, rising back up. We'll inhale, left arm up, and exhale. Take hold above the right ear, gently pulling the head to the left. Meanwhile, right fingertips on the ground, tiptoeing away from you, and maybe back. Notice the sensations you feel in the neck and the top of the shoulder. If anything's uncomfortable, just adjust it. This is your yoga practice. So I'm here to make suggestions, offer ideas. It's up to you to try it and decide what works for you and what does not. So again, if you would like to invite a little bit of movement, you can feel free to do so. Maybe the head moves forward and back. Maybe you explore a different position with those fingertips on the ground. Face and jaw very relaxed. So if there's any tension here in the teeth or the jaw, just letting it be soft and loose. Breath is your constant rhythm, in and out. Good. And when you're ready, we can come back to center, extending the legs. Let's give a little bounce to the knees and just let the blood flow back into the feet. And if you had your legs crossed before, let's go ahead and cross them the other way. So whichever leg was on top or in front, now we're going to switch it. And we have a tendency to always cross the same way, so do it the way that feels awkward this time. We'll take hands to rest on the knees and drop the chin to the chest. As we inhale, we can roll the head over to the right so the ear comes over the shoulder, and then exhaling the chin back down to center. So the rest of the spine is nice and straight. We're just bending at the neck. Now we'll inhale, roll over to the left, and exhale, chin to chest. So we'll keep moving in this way, relaxing through the face and the jaw, inhaling, rolling right, ear over shoulder, and exhaling, chin to chest, both shoulders gently pressing down. Inhaling, rolling over to the left, ear over shoulder, exhaling back to center. One more time, rolling to the right, inhale. Maybe you press the head back so the ear passes behind the shoulder. And exhale to center. One more time to the left, inhale, rolling over. Again, maybe pressing back a little further. And exhaling, chin to the chest. So we'll keep the chin in the chest here. Inhale, arms out and up as the chin is tucked down. And then exhaling, fingertips behind the head, gently pressing chin closer to the chest. So again, the spine is really straight and upright here. We are growing long and tall through the spine, just feeling that stretch in the back of the neck. Breathing in and out. And now with the hands behind the head, we can start to lift the head and press back like we're looking up toward the ceiling and using the pressure of the head to push the hands back, feeling a stretch in the shoulders. Maybe we want to assist by opening up the elbows a little bit wider, continuing to press back with the head, breathing in and out. Releasing the arms, bringing the head to center. We can inhale, arms out and up, looking up. And exhaling, pressing hands down, tipping chin to chest. Good. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, pressing down. This time we'll inhale, arms out and up, and exhale, we'll lean over to the right, letting the right hand come down, dropping the elbow slightly, coming into right side bend. So we're dropping that right elbow to make sure that the shoulder stays down, away from the ear. It's not shrugged up. And if you like a little movement here, feel free to sway forward and back, noticing the sensations in the side body, in the low back, and in that left arm. If you prefer a static stretch, just reaching over to the right. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. And then inhale, come on up, reach out, give yourself some space, left hand to the ground, and right arm up and over. Again, left elbow can drop slightly if you feel like that shoulder is right up against the ear. And if you like movement, you are welcome to kind of draw some semicircles with this upper arm or maybe circle through the wrist. If you prefer a static stretch, just reaching over and keeping both hips firmly grounded. We'll give it one more deep breath in and out. And then rising back up, leaning back, bringing the hands behind us. I'm going to turn sideways to demonstrate here. We can lift the chest and gaze up to the ceiling. So option one is to stay right here, opening up the front body, squeezing shoulder blades together. Option two, pressing the head back toward the wall behind you and letting it drop all the way down. If it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. Option three, lifting the hips up off the ground and coming up onto the knees. Breathing in and out. Dropping back down to the hips, extending the legs in front and coming into a gentle forward fold over those legs, letting the head drop. The hands do not have to reach the feet. They can come anywhere on the legs that they're comfortable or next to the legs on the floor. And as you drop the chin down to the chest, maybe you'd like to turn the head gently side to side as though you're looking to one shoulder and then the other. Breathing deeply in and out. Good. We'll take one more deep breath in and out here, and then rising back up, we'll take the hands behind us, leaning back. So if you want to work on strengthening the wrists, the fingertips are going to point forward. If the wrists don't really like that, you can always turn the fingers outward or backward. Opening the feet hip distance apart, we'll slide the feet in until they come flat with bent knees. And then rising and lowering in and out of reverse tabletop with the breath. We can inhale, lifting the hips, letting the head drop. And exhaling, lowering back down. And if that doesn't feel good for your neck, you can just look up to the ceiling. So inhale, lifting the hips, keeping a strong neck, looking up. And exhale, lowering. Maybe each time the hips come up a little higher. Inhale, lifting, feeling the stretch in shoulders and wrists. Exhaling, lowering down. One more time, inhale, lifting. We can stay here for a breath, maybe rocking forward and back, forward and back. And then lowering back down. Good, extending the legs, little bouncy movement to the knees. Time to flip over onto hands and knees. So we'll come to a tabletop position, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. So we've got lots of right angles here in the body. Abdominals are pulled in. So we're flattening out through the low back and lengthening the tailbone. And as you look down at the hands, fingers spread really wide. Inhaling, dropping the belly, looking up. So it's like the cat and cow we did seated, now on all fours. Exhaling, pushing spine to the ceiling and tucking chin to the chest, flexing and extending the spine. Inhaling, opening the front body, looking up. Exhaling, rounding the back and looking in. 2 more times. We'll inhale, arch, maybe squeezing shoulder blades together behind us. And then exhaling, broadening those shoulder blades as we push the spine to the ceiling. 1 more time. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. And coming back to a flat back position. So the back has a tendency to kind of arch and sag naturally. We need to make a conscious effort. Just like when we were laying on our backs, how we pushed the low back into the floor, same muscular movement here. Now you're pushing into the air above you. And as we look down between the hands, we can start to extend the right leg back. So actually, let's move the knees just a little bit closer together. They're not touching, but they're closer. We'll take the right leg back. It's parallel to the ground, and I like to flex the foot like I'm pushing against an imaginary wall. This is where the low back often gets saggy, so we'll make an extra effort to pull those abdominals in. And as you continue looking down beneath you, between the hands, when you're ready, you can slowly lift the left arm to balance. And if this feels like too much, feel free to drop those right toes to the ground and extend the left arm. Long, slow breath. So we're finding our balance here. And if you'd like, we can circle through wrist and ankle one way and then the other way. And letting the hand and foot be still, we'll take a deep breath in, lengthening, and super slow motion movement, elbow to knee underneath you. They don't need to touch, but they're coming closer together. Inhale, opening up, and let's double check that right hand is directly underneath the shoulder. Exhaling, elbow toward knee underneath. Inhale, extending long, abdominals nice and tight to flatten through the low back. Exhaling, elbow to knee underneath. And 1 more time, inhale, opening up. Exhaling, elbow toward knee. Good, we'll drop the hand and the knee, maybe sway the hips a little and shake out that right wrist. Deep breath in and out. So realigning, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, fingers spread wide. That low back gently pressing upward as the abdominals pull in. We can move the knees just a little closer, an inch or 2. And when you're ready, the left leg can extend behind you. Flexing through that foot, gazing down, maintaining abdominal engagement here. Finding our balance, we'll shift the weight into the left hand and slowly lift that right arm forward. So again, if this feels like too much, you can drop the left toes to the ground, tucked under. Otherwise, we'll keep both limbs lifted, maybe circling through ankle and wrist one way, other way. Long, slow, rhythmic breaths. Then letting the hand and the foot be still. We'll take a deep breath in as we lengthen, making sure that left wrist is under the shoulder, and exhaling, elbow toward knee underneath. Inhaling, extending and lengthening, and exhaling, slowly contracting. Good. 2 more. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, pull it in. And one more time. Inhale, opening up, keeping that abdominal engagement. Exhale, elbow toward the knee. And as we drop the hand and the knee back down, once again, we can sway the hips side to side, maybe shaking out the left wrist a little bit. And when you're ready, feel free to open up the knees a little bit wider as the big toes touch behind you. Sitting back on the heels, you can extend the arms in front and let the forehead come down for child's pose. Long, slow breaths in and out. So here in child's, the body is heavy. The hips are sitting back on the feet, the rib cage relaxing down toward the earth. Feel free to inch the fingers a little bit further forward if that feels good for you. Your breath is long, rhythmic, and even. Deep in, deep out. Feeling the weight of the forehead on the ground. Taking a moment to visualize your own rootedness to the earth below. Maybe you can see yourself sending roots down from the center of the forehead, the knees, the tops of the feet. Breathing in, breathing out into that sense of security and rootedness. And then gazing forward at the hands. We'll lift the head, making sure the arms are nice and straight, elbows lifted. We're rising up into downward facing dog. So from that child's pose position, when the arms are extended fully, the hands and feet are exactly where they need to be. We'll lift the hips up, press the hips back. So firm pressure into the hands. Maybe you'd like to bring a little bit of movement here. I really like to pedal out the feet, so I'm bending and straightening alternate knees. I like to shake my head no and nod my head yes. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. When you feel ready, we can shift forward to a plank position, and you're always welcome to drop the knees and straighten out the hips. Otherwise, we'll stay balanced on the toes. We'll breathe for 3, pulling those lower abdominals in, lengthening through the tailbone. Breathing for 2, pressing shoulders back, wrists are under shoulders. Breathing for 1. Option to drop the knees. And then slowly lowering with elbows hugging in toward the ribs. We can inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest cobra. So again, shoulders are far from the ears. Exhaling, rolling over the knees into that child's pose once again. We won't stay here long, just setting up for another down dog. Hips back, hands forward. When you're ready, we can rise back up. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, pressing back. Deep breath in and out. We'll give it one more breath in and out. And if you need to drop to the knees at any point, please feel free to do so. And then when you're ready, softly bending through the knees, we can start to walk the hands back toward the feet until we find ourselves in a forward fold position at the back of the mat. Now my knees are quite bent here, so I'm feeling more stretch in the low back than I am in the hamstrings, but if you'd like to straighten them more, you can. Arms can hang, you can grab opposite elbows, or you could even take the hands behind the legs and gently pull the chest in closer if that feels right for you. So I like to grab opposite elbows here and bring a little movement, maybe swaying the upper body side to side, shaking out the head and neck one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Good. In your own time, feel free to drop the arms down and slowly begin to roll yourself upright. One vertebra at a time. When we are fully upright, bringing the arms out and up with a deep breath in, looking up, and exhaling, pressing down, tipping chin to the chest. So really rooting through the feet and growing long and tall from that rooted place, inhaling up Exhaling, pressing down. One last time, inhale, arms out and up, a side bend to the right. So the right arm can drop, left arm reaches up and over. And it's your choice. If you like this stretch with the arm extended, maybe circling through the wrist, or feel free to fold the hand behind the head and use the head to push back. So this is kind of like the stretch we did seated, using the head to press back to open the shoulder, and maybe assisting by pressing that elbow back a little bit as well. Good. When you're ready, let's go ahead and extend. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, switch, dropping the left arm, reaching right arm up and over. Again, your choice. Maybe we stay here, we circle through the wrist, or maybe you place the hand behind the head, gently pushing the head back and allowing that elbow to press back as well. Breathing in and out. We'll inhale, come on back up. Both arms reach up, and then we'll take the arms to our sides and behind us. So we're going to position the hands below the low back, but above the buttocks, and allow the elbows to really squeeze back. So this is another one of those positions where we have a tendency to overarch in the low back. So let's pull the abdominals in. Inhale, gaze up. And exhale, allowing the hands to gently press forward as you lean back. You can keep the head strong looking up, or you can press the head back toward the wall behind you and then let it drop back, opening the mouth. Elbows squeezing back. We can inhale, come on up. And with a soft bend to the knees, release into forward fold one more time. Deep breath in and out. Now from our forward fold here, we can start to bend the right knee, and you'll find that the upper body kind of moves to the left. So with that right knee bent, we'll take the right hand across to the left leg, and with a twist, we can bring the left arm up. And you can explore with that bend in the right knee. I find the more I bend it, the more I twist. Upper arm can stay reaching up, or you can fold it behind the back for a standing twist. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. If you folded the arm back, let's extend it up. Inhale, bringing it up, and exhaling back to center. Now it's the left leg that's going to bend as we reach the left arm across to the right leg. And inhaling, right arm comes up toward the ceiling. You can turn the head to look up to strengthen the neck. If the neck bothers you, just look down. An option to fold that upper arm behind the back. Deep breath in and out. Good. As we inhale, we could extend the arm back up. Exhale back to center. And then taking a half lift, we'll look forward, nice flat back, deep breath in, and exhaling, folding back down again. One more time, half lift, inhale, look forward, pressing the hips back, lengthening the head forward, and exhaling, folding. So now it's a reverse swan dive. We'll bring the arms outward and upward as we rise all the way up, deep breath in, and exhaling, arms in front, parallel to the ground. Feet are hip distance apart. We'll pull the shoulders back, draw the navel back toward the spine. So always contracting here through that core, and then sitting back into a squat. So when I sit back into a squat, the hips are actually reaching back and the knees are in line with the ankle. I'm not just bending my knees and sitting down. There's an actual reach back with the low body. We'll find a focal point, a drishti, on the ground about 6 feet in front of you. And as you inhale, we can come up on tippy toes, balancing, and exhale, lower down. So we're strengthening through the muscles of the feet and the ankles. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, dropping down. Deep breath in, come on up. You could put more weight into the big toes than the others. Exhale, slowly lowering. This time we'll inhale, come on up on the toes. Stay here as you exhale, maybe sitting down deeper. Another deep breath in. Dropping the heels, exhale. We can inhale, come on up, arch back. Exhale, swan dive, and fold. Half lift as we lengthen the back, inhale. We'll step the right foot back, exhaling. So we'll come into a lunge position, front ankle under the knee. So I needed to kind of scooch my foot a little bit further forward to accommodate that. Back toes can untuck. All right, you might be on the fingertips, you might be on fists here. If you have blocks, you might put the blocks under the hands with the hands framing the foot. And it's up to you how far you want to let your hips drop down for this stretch in the front of the right hip. Deep breath in and out. So you can stay here with hands on the ground, or we can turn it into a balancing pose by pushing into the left foot, starting to rise up. We can bring the arms out to the sides, find your balance here, and then arms up above for crescent lunge. Now, if this feels too intense for your right hip, just push into that left foot and lift the hips a little bit. So it's totally up to you how far you want to stretch. You can stay here in crescent lunge, maybe looking up to the ceiling, or deep breath in, palms together. Deep breath out, hands to the heart, and we'll twist to the left. So the right elbow comes across the body to the left knee, and we're turning the head to look up toward the left elbow. Long, slow breaths in and out. If at any point it doesn't feel comfortable, go ahead and change it. And then untwisting to center, deep breath in. We'll take the right hand to the ground or to a block and the left arm up for a twist. So option here to keep that back knee on the ground or tuck the toes and lift the knee up. Long, slow breathing. And if you like movement in this upper arm, feel free to draw some semicircles or circle through the wrist. You can also fold the arm behind the back. Lots of variations. We'll take one more deep breath in. The arm is folded. Let's bring it back up. Exhale, hands frame the foot. We're going to slide this left foot back. Come to a plank position. Deep breath in, high plank. Option to drop the knees, exhaling, lowering down. Shoulders roll back, inhale a little lift cobra or a bigger lift, upward facing dog. Exhaling back, rolling over the knees, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Looking forward at the hands, deep breath in. We can tiptoe, step, or jump our way to the front of the mat as we breathe out. Taking a half lift, we'll inhale, look forward, and exhale, fold down. Arms sweep out and up. Inhale, rising back up. Exhale, we're going to forward fold one more time, coming right back down again. Inhaling, gazing forward, half lift. This time it's the left leg that's going to step back into that lunge position. Dropping down through the back knee, maybe inching the front toes a little further forward so the ankle is under the knee, and assessing how it feels in this left hip. Maybe you need to lift the hips a little bit so it's not so deep. Maybe you need to drop them down deeper to get more of a stretch. Again, you can place anything under the hands to lift yourself up a little bit if you need to. And we'll give it a couple of deep, slow breaths here. Now, it's perfectly okay if you want to stay here, kind of folded down in this lunge. Just notice if the shoulders are shrugging, let's push them back. Or we can come up for that crescent lunge balancing pose. When you're ready, pushing into the right foot, we can start to rise up. Inhaling, I like to bring the arms out to find my balance, and then bring them up. And exhaling here. So again, I find once I come up, ooh, the stretch gets even deeper in my left hip. So maybe I need to push into the right foot a little bit and lift the hips. You can look up to the ceiling. Feel free to stay here. Or take a deep breath in, moving palms together, exhaling, hands to the heart. Now we can turn to the right, bringing that left elbow across the body to the right knee. The right elbow is up in the air, and we can turn the head and look toward that elbow. So we're bringing the twist into the neck as well. Breathing deeply in and out. When you're ready, we'll untwist to center, placing the left hand down and bringing the right arm up for a twist. Option to stay here. Option to tuck the back toes and lift the knee. Option to move the upper arm and wrist, or option to fold the arm behind the back, or hey, any other option that you want to add, you are welcome to do so. You can turn the head up to strengthen, working against gravity, or look down. And if the arm is folded, let's inhale, bring it up. Exhale, hand flat, sliding right leg back. Deep breath in, plank position. Exhale, we're gonna pike the hips. Press back, downward facing dog. One more time, coming forward plank, deep breath in. Exhale, pike the hips. Come on up, down dog. This time we'll inhale forward to plank and make our way down to the belly. So dropping the knees, lowering down to the mat. We can take the left arm out to the left. So it's extended 90 degrees from the body. And the right hand is still on the ground, flat next to your right ribs. We'll take a deep breath in here, and then exhale, push with that right hand and roll toward your extended arm. So now you're on your left side and you can let the head drop down. We're looking for a stretch in the inside of the left shoulder. The legs can be stacked, or if it feels okay for you, you can take that upper leg and slide it back. The hand that's on the ground in front of the chest might move a little closer in toward you. And every time you breathe out, you can use that hand to push on the ground and open up the left shoulder a little bit more. Deep breath in and out. When you're ready, we can stack the legs again and roll back down onto the belly. Now we'll switch the arms. So we'll pull this left hand in next to the ribs, elbow up, and then extend the right arm out to the right. A deep breath in to prepare right here on the belly. And as you exhale, pushing into that left hand, rolling to your right side toward the extended arm and letting the head drop down. So now we're looking for that stretch in the right shoulder. Again, the hand on the ground in front of you might scoot in a little bit closer, so you have better leverage to push every time you exhale. And the upper leg can either stay stacked over the lower or it can slide back. And you might feel a little bit of spinal twist here if you choose that variation. So this is a passive pose. We're really letting gravity and the breath do the work for us. But if you would like to add a little action with that left hand, pushing as you exhale to increase that stretch in the shoulder, feel free. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. When you're ready, stacking the legs, tiptoeing left hand away, rolling back down to the belly. We're gonna slide both hands in and lift up cobra, inhale. Then placing forearms flat, we're in Sphinx pose, exhaling. So elbows are now directly under the shoulders, forearms flat in front of you. You can feel the deep back bend here. If it feels intense, you can press the toenails into the ground and lift the belly button. So it's that same muscular movement we've made when we were on our backs, pushing the low back into the ground, pulling the belly button toward the spine. Same thing right here. Shoulders back and down, top of the head lengthening up, and the back of the head pushing back. So really upright here. If this feels like enough, stay right here. If you want a little bit more, with the shoulders low, we can inhale, starting to lift the elbows up off the mat and gently squeeze the elbows inward. So again, really deep back bend. You can press that belly button back toward the spine to protect the low back. We'll take one more breath in and then exhale, lower down. Counter pose, child's pose. Let's slide the hands back. Rise up onto the knees, opening up the space between the knees. Feel free to sit back on the heels and extend the arms forward, letting the forehead drop down. Deep breath in and out. If there's any movement you like here in your child's pose, sometimes I like to rock my hips slowly side to side or roll the forehead side to side. Feel free to do that. You can also inch the fingers a little further forward for a deeper stretch in the shoulders. And then when you're ready, we'll lift the gaze, look forward, start to walk the hands back in, and we'll swing the legs around to come to a seated position. Now, before we recline, if you want to take one more sip of your beverage, feel free to do that. I'm feeling a little thirsty myself. And then we will make sure that we have plenty of room on the mat behind us so we can recline. If you're tired, you just want to lie down, go for it. If you want to work the abdominals one more time, let's bend the knees with heels solidly planted. Lengthening up through the spine, chin tucks down like you've got a little imaginary apple under the chin. And we can extend the arms out. We'll take a deep breath in here to prepare. And then exhaling, we'll begin to round the back and collapse the chest as we make a very slow descent toward the ground with the heels firmly planted. So let's make sure that we're breathing deeply and rhythmically. It's going to start to feel a little more challenging as you get around the shoulder blades, so stay with it. And when you're finally all the way down, feel free to extend the arms up above the head, point the toes, stretch the legs down below, full body stretch. Deep breath in and exhale. Arms to your sides, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. We're going to open up the feet so that they're at the edges of the mat. So again, your feet are on the ground with knees bent and the feet are wide, about mat distance apart. We can start to windshield wipe the knees. So moving them like the windshield wipers in your car, together one way, together the other way. And you may notice as the knees go down to one side, the opposite hip lifts up, and then vice versa. So you may feel some sensations not only in the feet, the legs, and the hips, but also in the low back. So just be conscious and intentional with your movements. If anything feels like pain, go ahead and change it. Maybe don't go so deep. We'll take one more deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready, knees up into the chest, releasing through the low back now with that gentle rocking motion from side to side. Notice if the shoulders are shrugged up by the ears. Let's go ahead and slide them down. And then spinal twist. We can let the left leg extend down straight to the mat, and keeping that right knee up in the chest, we can just give a little movement side to side or draw some circles with it, loosening up through the hip. And then placing right foot somewhere on the left leg. We'll keep the left hand coming across the body on the knee, and the right arm is going to open out to the side, 90 degrees with the palm facing up. We'll take a deep breath in here to prepare. And then exhaling, we can use the left hand to pull the knee across as we roll to the left. And when you have gone as far as you want to go here with that knee, you can turn the head to look the other way toward that extended arm. Now let's take a quick mental inventory of all the muscles through the body. If you feel tension anywhere, see if you can let it release. So I'm feeling some tension in my right foot. I'm going to slide that foot back to rest on the left leg. Feel a little tension in my jaw. I'm going to make sure that my mouth is slightly open, jaw is relaxed, toes relaxed. So anywhere in your body that you feel that residual tension, just let it go. We'll take one more deep breath in. Maybe get a little heavier as you exhale. And then rolling back to center, we can invite the bent knee up to the chest first, and then bring the other one up to meet it. So we're hugging knees to the chest again, releasing through the low back and rocking it out from side to side. Deep breath in and out. Good. Now it's the right leg that can extend all the way down straight, and with the hands on that left knee, maybe a little bit of movement in this knee, side to side, around in a circle one way, circle the other way. Notice muscles in the face and the jaw and the shoulders, nice and relaxed. And then left foot anywhere on that right leg. Right hand stays up and across on the knee, and then the left arm opens out to the side. Deep breath in here to prepare. Exhaling, rolling to the right, using that right hand to pull the knee across. When you've gone as far as you want to go, Turning the head to the left, looking toward the extended arm. The foot of the bent leg can slide back a little bit so it's resting on the straight leg. And then once again, that mental inventory from the top of the head down to the toes. Where might I be holding tension? And where can I soften just a little bit more? Breathing in and breathing out. The body can become a little bit heavier every time you exhale. We'll give it one more deep breath in and out here. And then rolling back to center, knees up into the chest, hugging in. We'll rock it out from side to side and take a short resting pose. So when you're ready, legs can extend down. Just like we began, laying on your back. If there's something that you'd like to put, a cushion or blocks underneath the thighs or the knees, feel free. Otherwise, legs extended, little open space between the feet. So if you were to look at yourself from above, the legs look like an upside down V with toes rolling outward. And then sliding the arms down toward the feet. Again, option to slide the arms open, palms up, or fold the hands in on the body, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And maybe you'd like to rock the head and the neck gently from side to side, feeling that weight in the back of your skull, and then letting the head come to rest in the center. We're going to take one more big deep breath, filling that glass of water. So inhaling deeply to fill the lower lungs, expanding the belly, then the middle of the lungs, and then all the way to the top. Maybe even imagining that breath is filling the center of your skull, and slowly releasing. Ha. Now we can transition the breathing to gentler, easier breaths. If there are any little wiggles or fidgets you want to get out of the body now, go ahead. Then coming to rest in stillness. Now the mind has a way of trying to pull you into the past, recalling memories, or projecting you into the future, thinking about unknowns and what ifs. So if that happens, it's normal. But we'll make an effort to stay anchored here in this present moment, using the sensations that you feel in your body and using your senses to perceive and observe what's going on around you right here, right now. So the sounds that you hear, the feelings in your body, your own breath. Gentle, easy, effortless breath. Now you are welcome to stay here in this resting pose as long as you would like, if you have the time on your end, that is. But if you'd like to stay on schedule with me, then it's time to invite some movement back into the body, wiggling fingers and toes. And then if it feels right for you, extending the arms up above the head, pointing the toes, stretching long through the body, and starting to deepen the breath again. Hugging knees up into the chest, rocking yourself gently side to side, and then letting yourself roll all the way over to one side or the other. Just lingering there for a moment. And then using the hands to help yourself to an upright seated position. Legs can be straight or crossed or any other position that feels right for you. Any little wiggles that you'd like to get out now that you're in this new upright position, feel free. And when you're ready, we can sweep the arms out and up with a big deep breath in, palms together, lowering them down in front of the heart. Just taking a moment of gratitude before we leave each other today. Gratitude for yourself, for showing up here today and carving out this time. Gratitude for the amazing benefit that the internet is offering us today so that we can have these online classes, and my gratitude to you for joining me. So feel free to fold forward into a small bow to seal your practice today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. It is always a pleasure to be here. So again, this is going to be the last Wednesday just for a 3-week hiatus. So the studio opens back up again on Wednesdays. I'll be there for the next 3 weeks, and then they have summer camp. So I'll be back here with you because Wednesdays seem to be a good day for most people. So if you did not have the option or the opportunity to check in with me at the beginning, I would love to hear from you if there are any weekdays that are better than others for you. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and say hi. If you're ready to go, you can totally go. Bye. Have a great day. So I'm going to stay with Saturday mornings at 9. I understand that that does not work for some people, and that's totally okay. It works for me, so I got to do what works for me as well. But I would like to offer some other weekdays. I'm thinking that if I'm going to do Wednesdays, it'll probably be Mondays or Fridays, just to keep that consistency and have a day of rest in between. If anybody has feedback that you would like to share, if there's a day that you like more than others, feel free to let me know. John, I know that you're having sound issues and I don't have the chat window on anymore, so just shoot me an email or Facebook message or communicate with me in some other way. Debbie, any comments, anything, any preferences? No, you're good? Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome. My pleasure. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.